Grip socks are great, and now they're even better with Pure Grip Socks Pro. Better fit, moisture wicking, amazing comfort, and all the extra grip you need. Choose from 10 different colors for just $16.99 a pair at puregripsocks.com.
Over the years, I've had some very good and some very bad things to say about New Balance football boots. And while I think at the moment they offer a pretty strong lineup, especially with the top-end Furon offering, what they've just come out with, I would argue, is their best ever pair of football boots that you should not only be considering over other options at the same price point, but should be considering over other options that cost significantly more. Ladies and gentlemen, the brand New Balance 442 version 2. Basically NB's take on the Nike Tiempo concept, but at the Nike Premier price point. You get a kangaroo leather upper with a central lacing system and standalone tongue, with design elements that actually remind me a lot of the original 11 Pro 1 and 11 Pro 2, for those that were big fans of those, sitting on top of a brand new Soleplate tooling that might look traditional in a lot of ways, but it's actually more aggressive in terms of traction and much lighter than you'd expect it to be simply based on its design, all for the extremely affordable retail price of just $130. Not only is this incredible value for money, it is arguably better than football boots that cost twice as much. Version 2, of course, being the replacement for the original 442, which came out back in 2018. Basically the same concept, but an execution that didn't really live up to expectation in terms of overall quality, comfort, and certainly fit. It was just a weird football boot in a lot of ways, and I didn't think was as good as other options you had out there. This is a completely different story, however, and honestly, for $130, you are getting top quality materials, performance, feel. I'm just so impressed with what New Balance have done here, and what I want to talk about in today's video is why I think these are so good and why you might want to consider saving a bunch of money and possibly going for a pair of New Balance football boots for the first time ever. So if you want to learn more, including how they fit and feel on feet, please stick around, watch the entire review. And if you're interested in a pair for yourself, you can pick them up below their normal retail price by way of some exclusive SR4U coupon codes by checking out the first link down below. As always, if you guys do end up enjoying the video highlighting the boots that perhaps don't get the attention they deserve, please don't forget to support this one with a like. And if you're not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button along with the little bell notification so you don't miss out on my reviews of all the latest football boots of 2022. So first things first, if you happen to be on the market for a pair of leather football boots, these need to be on your list of considerations, not only because of the incredible value for money proposition that they are, but because of how good and how much leather you actually get on the 442 version 2. It's a kangaroo leather upper, and something that I always criticize with any modern day leather football boots is not just the quality, but especially the amount of leather. And I love that New Balance have basically covered the entire upper in really high quality kangaroo leather. Some of the budget options out there, kind of like the Nike Premier 3, I don't think is necessarily low quality, but I definitely think once you get into the $200 plus bracket of kangaroo leather football boots, there's definitely a noticeable quality jump in the type of leather that you're getting. With this at $130, these are as nice as just about any high-end, more expensive kangaroo leather football boots out there. And the stitching pattern that they've gone with not only looks quite good, but feels really nice as well. These are football boots that feel well reinforced when you put them on their feet, and clever things like embossing this synthetic piece of material in the form of the New Balance and logo reinforces the lateral sidewall, giving you this nice secure feel. But then you can see on the medial side, they've actually just embossed it and then filled it in, giving you this pure leather touch on the ball all the way through the midfoot, where the leather basically goes to the heel on either side and covers the entire football boot. The only section that isn't leather is this little textured area on the back of the heel, possibly this little heel tab, but that's backed by an internal plastic heel counter anyway, so that doesn't really matter. And then the tongue itself, which is probably my one, I don't even want to say major complaint, because I ended up liking it a lot more than I thought I would. It's this really thin kind of textile material that's a little bit longer than I would like it to be, but with the laces tied tight, and once the boots soften up a little bit, you don't notice it at all. I personally wish that would have been leather as well, so they are a little bit thinner across the top of the foot, but in terms of striking the ball, you might actually like that slightly more pingy sensation in the little area that is exposed across the top of the foot. Nonetheless, the quality and comfort and touch provided by this incredibly soft kangaroo leather for $130 is just unmatched by any other football boot currently on the market. Not that $130 for a pair of football boots is necessarily inexpensive, but if these were just handed to me and I was asked to guess the price, I would expect them to retail for significantly more. The quality is that good. As you'd expect from a more traditional style of football boot, you have a central lacing system with a standalone tongue that again is super pliable, so no break-in aspect to that, which can sometimes be the case when you go for a full leather material. Can be a little bit stiff depending on which type of lining they use. Not the case with this super thin material, and I love the fact that it runs nice and deep as well, giving you plenty of adjustability to make them tighter or looser depending on how you want them to fit. And of course, because the entire upper is made out of kangaroo leather, as you wear them in, they are going to stretch that little bit, giving you that custom feel on your feet. Again, from a fit and comfort perspective, I could not be more impressed with these. These are level, if not better, than most of the leather football boots out there in regards to fit. Also, I really like the fact that they added that extra lace hole at the top on either side. So if you want that little bit of a deeper grab, kind of helping to lock your heel in place if you're finding that slippage is a bit of an issue for you, I love the fact that they give you that option. I don't know why more brands don't do that. Moving to the rear, the boots feature a very traditional low-cut design with no real quirks to it. It just feels normal and ultimately very comfortable, which is exactly what I think most people would be looking for. You have an internal plastic heel counter, and then the heel liner is where they've done a little bit of, let's call it, technology or innovation, in that it's lined in this soft microfiber material in black. Then you can see highlighted at the back of the heel, as well as kind of either side of the lower heel ankle area, are these red pads, which are also lined in a microfiber material, but they're backed by a firmer foam. They definitely have, I don't want to say a hard feel to them, but it's definitely stiffer than the softer foam in all the black areas. And this is something I was a little bit skeptical of. I thought it was going to potentially be an issue in regards to break-in discomfort, maybe even blisters. But honestly, after about 5 minutes playing in the boots, you completely forget about it entirely. You don't feel it. And heel lockdown in general seemed to be very good. So I can't really complain about what they've done here, although I don't think it was entirely necessary. With that said, a cool little detail are the dimples there, which you can see at the back of the heel are in the 4-4-2 formation, which you can also see the little detail of the formation 4-4-2 here on the back of the heel. And then the insole, fully removable. I'll give you guys a quick look at that. Pretty straightforward in that it's a mesh liner on the surface, and it's made from a single layer of this very soft and very thin black foam. Which brings us to the base of the football boot, the new tooling of the 442 version 2, where it's a very straightforward plastic sole plate with a very standard FG layout, 3 studs on either side of the forefoot, support stud in the middle, 4 under the heel, all conical in shape, but quite aggressive. This is actually very reminiscent of a lot of the Puma stud patterns that we've had over the last several years in terms of providing a lot more bite than you might expect from something that looks so simple. And as far as the plastic base is concerned, it is the perfect balance of rigidity and flexibility, more flexible through the forefoot and then nice and rigid through the heel and midfoot. I think it suits the boots perfectly, requires little to no break-in time, and pretty much feels good to go out of the box. As far as sole plate tooling from New Balance goes, I think this is one of the better ones that they've ever come out with. And despite it being very simple, it's really, really impressive, especially for the price point. If you're comparing this to something like a Nike Premier, while those are less expensive, this sole plate tooling blows those out of the water. And if you're still not impressed by the 442 V2, let's take a look at how much they weigh, but also compare them to the Nike Mercurial Vapor 14 Elite, the most popular top-end speed boot currently on the market. In a size 9.5 US, both of these boots are. We'll start off with the New Balance. You can see that they weigh in at a very lightweight 7.05 ounces, the equivalent of 200 grams, making these one of the lightest kangaroo leather football boots, certainly in terms of the amount of leather that you get currently on the market, for $130. Change the scale back to ounces, and we'll throw on again Nike's flagship speed boot. They weigh in at 7.15 ounces, the equivalent of 203 grams. So again, marketing can be a little bit deceptive. This football boot here for $130 with a full kangaroo leather upper that is quote unquote super traditional is actually 3 grams lighter than the most popular speed boot currently on the market. On feet, I could not be more impressed with the 442 version 2. The quality and amount of kangaroo leather is top notch, what you would expect from far more expensive football boots, let alone ones that retail for 130 bucks. I think they nailed the shape of the football boots, and of course with that nice deep central lacing system, you have plenty of adjustability where you can get that snug, secure feel without the boots feeling sloppy, which I think is something that a lot of people kind of have this expectation of when it comes to full leather football boots. And while these aren't mercurial responsive, they still feel nice and secure on feet, and in general, very stable. They're honestly very reminiscent to what you're going to find right now from a pair of top-end Tiempo Legend 9s, which is a very good thing considering they are $100 less expensive. Again, you do notice the firmness of those pads near the back of the heel in the liner, but it's not something that I find uncomfortable at all. Once you get used to it, you stop noticing it entirely. And as far as the overall shape and width is concerned, it is New Balance, so it's possible that they will offer these in a wide fit variation down the line. But as it is right now in the regular version, which is at the moment the only version, they have plenty of width to them, of course, because they are leather. You're gonna get that stretch from them as you wear them in if it's something that you need. And there's also a decent amount of volume. In general, I would say they are slightly on the wider side, but they're still gonna be suitable for most people, and in general will just work well for most foot types because the entire upper is made from leather. And then as far as sizing is concerned, I'm wearing these in my usual size 9.5 US, and the fit and the length is perfect. So if you're looking to order a pair for yourself, I would strongly recommend going true to size in order to achieve the best possible fit. So in conclusion, at least in my eyes, it's very simple. If you are on the market for a pair of kangaroo leather football boots and want the best quality while spending the least amount of money possible, look no further than the New Balance 442 V2. If you look at their main competitors, certainly the ones from Puma and Adidas, I don't think are the most compelling. King Platinum 21, not very good for 200 bucks. Copa Sense Point 1 and Copa Sense Plus, both football boots that aren't great leather football boots, let's be honest. But Nike, I think, has some really compelling options at this price point and above it in the Nike Premier 3 at 110 bucks. Technically, they are $20 less expensive, but I don't think they are anywhere near as good. These are definitely worth the extra 20 bucks in my eyes. And when you compare this to that top-end Nike Tiempo Legend 9 Elite, which also has a kangaroo leather upper, as great as those are, and as much as I love the Tiempos, are they legitimately worth an extra 100 bucks over these football boots? I don't think so.